And you were also drafted by the Jets.
I didn't negotiate with the Jets. I have the distinction of putting Joe Namath in New York. Okay? It was me, personally, that put Joe Namath in New York. The Houston Oilers had Joe Namath's rights. The Jets had my rights. They flew me into New York right at the end of my senior year. We had a week off, and I went up there for 2 days, and I talked to them and all that. I don't know what that did or didn't do, but I know that I didn't want to go to New York. And so I came back, and I get a phone call. And now, that year, Sammy Ball had left Tulsa my junior year and had gone to Houston as the head coach of the Oilers. The Oilers had Joe Namath's rights. So the Jets had mine. Joe Namath did not want to play for the Houston Oilers. I did not want to play for the New York Jets, so they traded us. Namath goes to New York. They sign him to this huge contract. I go to Houston as a draft choice. I go down there to visit, and it's actually I didn't visit until I visited them one day when we went to the Bluebonnet Bowl in December of 1964. The Oilers now had my rights. Sammy Ball was the head coach. I was going to sign a contract under the goalpost after the Bluebonnet game with Mississippi, and with Sammy Ball and the Houston Oilers. And 2 days before we were to play, I'm on the practice field, and everybody goes, "Hey, there's Sammy Ball. There's Sammy Ball." He's standing over there off the field, just standing there watching practice. And I said, "Yeah, I think that might be my future coach." And so the practice ended, and I walked over to him. And I said, "Coach, how you doing, man?" And we hugged each other and all that. And I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Don't come here." And I went, "Don't come." We were in Houston. Yeah. The Bluebonnet Bowl, that's where it was. I said, "What do you mean?" He goes, "They just fired me." And I went, "Oh, no." And so I was supposed to sign with him after the game. And so I just said, "Well, what happened?" He says, "I don't even want to tell you what he said, so I shouldn't say that over the air." So he made some real nice comments about it. So they weren't real good. So I just went on back and went back to the locker room after practice, and now the Dallas Cowboys were there hounding me also because they had already drafted me as a junior, with Roger Staubach at the same time. He had to go into the Navy. So now I become, the hot prospect for the Cowboy. So I just played the Oilers along with no intention of going there. And so I finally, I ended up with at that time, really pretty good contract, and I went with the Cowboys. So that's how I ended up with Dallas.
Yeah, how about that? That's a fascinating story.